welcome to the third game of the day. Right now we have Saptavia versus HUCK happening. Toss is going on and
HUCK has won the toss and they've decided to pick the left side on your screens. I think they're putting the gender toss now. Saptavi has won the gender toss and they've decided something which we're not sure about from here. Yeah, that's it. So today for commentary, I'm Arjun, joined by Vishwa, my co-commentator. We're doing this for the first time, so apologies if there is anything that's wrong. So on your screen, you can see Saptavyuha's hurdle right now. Uh, from what we've heard, they have people who passed out from 2020 all the way till last year, 2022. Even during COVID, I think they had some kind of recruitment going on. Uh, and now they're all here to play their first tournament in 3 years together. The team is led by Janani and Akash, shortly known as Cash. And on the other side, we have Huckit, that's Hamadad Zone's B team. Uh, that team is led by Neha and Panvi. On the other side, we have HUCK just warming up. On this side, we have Spice team just cheering and getting ready to play.
Today is amazing weather to play Ultimate. It's very chilly. There's very little wind. This is like the perfect condition to play Ultimate.
Coming from Chennai, anything less than 30 degrees is good for us. But right now, I think this should be about 23, 24 if I'm not wrong. We'll just check and let you know. We've had the opportunity to play with some of the players from Spy. So Saptavi has a college team based out of Coimbatore. They come out of Amrita University. Again, Amrita University students go from all over Tamil Nadu mostly. So there are a few players from Chennai who we usually play pickups with, and I have a couple of club teammates also here. They played with Callahan's last year. I played with Callahan's as well. So it's going to be a fun game. Looking forward to the game. We have Hamadad's on cheer right now. That was short and we didn't understand what it was, but we'll let you know once we check with the teams. Just when just when we were talking about no wind, the wind has started to blow.
There'll be a slight bias from both the commentators towards Spy because we know a lot of them personally and personally rooting for them. So let's see how the game goes.
From the looks of it, I think Saptavyuha is starting on defense. We'll try our best to say the names of all these players, but it's going to be quite difficult for us to spot all the numbers immediately. But once the game gets going, I think eventually we should have the numbers of all the players in mind, and then we can probably call them by their names.
Game time started and Jaya has the disc for the pull. Going in from right to left. The wind is blowing towards us, so this will be a crosswind game.
Oh, so they're starting with 4 men and 3 women on the field. Pulls landed somewhere near the brick mark. They're going with person defense. That's an immediate turnover.
There's good pressure by Janani. She didn't let the offensive player stop at any point.
Jaya's picking up the disc. We have a couple of cuts there. That's a turnover again.
That was hit with some force. But yeah, there was a pass to low which popped up due to the wind again. It's pretty hard.
So something that I've noticed in the games before this also is that there's a lot of excitement, and that's another high stall count turnover, I guess.
It is really picking up now. Jaya's again coming to pick up this. It should also be quite slippery right now. It's also drizzling a bit. It's going to be really hard for the throwers. They're playing with full backhand throws and Janani gives a clean cut.
Under. There are a couple of players who are being poached at the moment, so if they could utilize those players on the field and move the disc, that would be nice. There's one open player on the 4 side who's free and poached. That's a throw that is collected by the Spy player.
It's a foul call and I think it's being accepted. Good spirit from both the teams. It's been quickly resolved and they're checking in now. Yeah. Okay, there's a violation.
There's a violation call there.
So violation is basically whenever there's a stoppage, if someone moves, it's a violation and we'll reset the stoppage. That's a good break and that's the first point for us.
The point started with Jaya's pull and has ended with him scoring with the disc. Uh, that's 1-0 to Spy. So the match is happening here at IISC's grounds. IISC has a lot of fields. Right now, we're watching the game from out of the football field, and then there's a hockey field and a cricket field as well. Uh, so this is how the gender role goes as well. So the first point, they start with a particular gender, and the alternating 2 points are going to be the opposite gender ratio, and then the next 2 points they'll switch again. So there's a switch after the first point, and then every couple of points there's a switch in gender ratio, and it is not affected by the half time as well. So last point we had 4 men on the field on each of the teams. Now we have 3 men. Scores 1-0. Saptavi has entered with a very similar lineup like the last. They have all their. They've retained 3 of their male players from last point. Yeah. On the side of HUCK, we have some new faces who haven't played in the first point. So what I've noticed is that the excitement levels when it comes to college ultimate is really high. All these players, they usually study together. Barring this COVID period, most of them spend a lot of time together in their hostels and stuff. So they're very closely binded and they enjoy playing a lot. So that's a four-side cut and a nice D from Janani again. I think there's no call there. Jaya's picking up the disc with Saptavyuha setting up into a word stack. There's a drop from Janani. Huck it.
A slightly low throw and was pretty hard to catch. They could do better. Again, number 6 goes up lane, and yeah, there's a good up lane.
Nice cut. We have another up the line cut now. That was looked off. And another D by Janani in the end zone. She's proving to be a vital player for their team right now.
Jaya's again picking up the disc. They're getting the usual word stack. Jani has been doing the first cut for the past 2 points, but let's see. Okay, it's I think Shravan going in for the first cut. Okay, they've said no to him. Good upline by Roshni.
Roshni to Janani. Roshni receives it back again for a dump.
Shravan has the disc.
There are a couple of outcuts that were looked off.
Good reset. They are playing backhand fours, I think. Roshni again up the line. Jani goes deep. That's the throw to Joe. I think the force has been switched over here to forehand. Yes, the sideline's yelling forcing backhands. I think that's just a mistake from the player.
From the looks of it, Spy has a really good reset game. If they don't have options, they're resetting the disc really well. Janani goes for a deep look. And there's a turnover there.
Spike away.
There's another turnover, a quick pass that Yogendra looked for. but ended up being a turnover.
Yes, 7.5.
Janani with another undercut.
Low goes for the break side. Roshni goes up line.
We have a deep cut now. Jaya collects the reset, looks deep, and there's a HUCK going deep. Well collected by Gigi. Janani is open and scores again.
And that's the second break point for Spy.
Spy 2, HUCK hit 0. The defensive line of Saptavyuha might be tired at the moment, so they should be looking to switch some players up. We still have Roshni going in along with Janani, Yogi. They've brought in a new player. It's a bit difficult for us to track players from Huckit because most of their numbers are not given on the list that we received. Both Vishwa and I have been quite jealous watching this college ultimate scene because both our colleges did not have ultimate frisbee teams. We never got to really play college ultimate. We've only been able to play club ultimate.
And the energy in college ultimate is kind of unmatched. It's a lot of well-spirited games, and people just generally seem to have a lot more fun than club ultimate.
So there's also another rule called the gendered pull rule. So whichever gender has more players on the field, the player from that gender is supposed to make the pull. They're going with person defense again. There seems to be some confusion. One player seems unmarked and is thrown to. It's very close to the end zone. They're just one pass away from scoring their first point. Oh, but that's a turnover and a call on the field. Looks to be a foul call made by. Which was trying to have a closer look on the player's name. That seems to be resolved, and they've retracted the foul call, it looks like. And the disc moves out, and I think they'll get it again just close to the sideline, I mean the end zone line. The handler's calling for a hammer throw with his teammates yelling no. Uh, there are a couple of cuts that are looked off. That's a wide swing around. The hammer that's collected by number 13.
Yeah.
Ria. Yep. So with that Huck it is on the board. They've scored their first point, and we'll be having a look at their defensive line for the first time, and if they have any special defensive looks as well.
So for Spy, we have Janani has been playing Savage. We have Cash, Sundar, Yogesh, Roshni, and Shri on offense. Akit are still yet to stand on the line. Almost. It will be interesting to see what defensive approach Akit take into the game.
I'm guessing that there's going to be a zony look.
Zone would be a really good option now. It's not easy to get all the tough throws in now. It's slightly windy and neither of the teams seem really warmed up.
The pull has seemed to gone out, and they've called break. It looks like a three-person cup with a couple of wing defenders, a short deep and a deep deep. Spy seemed to be quite calm with the disc. It's a hawk long, and there's a defense by Yogi. Oh, that's a defense by Sundar. Sundar swings the disc around to Yogi. We have Yogis on both teams. Huckett seems to be confused with what to do right now at the moment. They haven't set their cup up yet. There seems to be some call there.
I think it's whether the disc was caught inside the end zone or outside. Whether he caught and then jumped. Caught while jumping, I guess.
Yeah, there's a travel call, so they pick the disc back in the line. Cash has a lot of swing options that he can take. Swings the disc to Yogi. Yogi looks off Roche and has another cut from Hari. Cash makes another cut and scores this time. Saptavyuha 3, Huckett 1. Spy's cup offense looked pretty clean. They knew what to do, except for that one huck, which was also a nice look, but they did not complete that pass because of the wind. On Saptavyuha's line now, we have their defensive expert Janani, Roshni, Yashwant, Cash, and a couple of other players. That's a nice pull from Cash. Lands in and bounces out. They're looking to set up a zone again. It's a 3% cup. Three-person cup again. We have there's a lot of space in the middle though. There's no particular shot deep. Instead, they're looking to cut off the four side throws a lot more. Cash, who's supposed to be their shot deep, is playing a little bit more aggressive than usual. And we have a conservative four side mark. That's an unforced error, a turnover from HUCK. Cash looking to pick up the disc with a word stack setup.
I think he'll try to get the point.
There seems to be some call on the field. Again, not sure what the call is.
It would be nice if they used hand signals here, because Silent doesn't have any clue on what's going on. Again, I think that seems to be another stoppage as to what's going on. Is it a violation?
Cash Kubas, that is. That was going to Janani. That was tipped off by another player. It was tipped off by Hari from Saptavyuha. HUCK is struggling to find options through Saptavyuha's cup. There's a double team call there. For those of you all who don't know, double team can be called by any of the players on the field, and there's a turnover right there. Looking for options. Sundar finds an open Hari for a dump pass to score. Saptavyuha 4, HUCK 1. There's a lot of energy from HUCK sideline, irrespective of what the score is. They still seem to be cheering, helping their teammates in whatever way possible.
They still have the chance going. They still have everyone coming in for the lines. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of positivity in the team. We haven't seen any cheers from Spy as of now, but then they seem to be playing well. So that's good.
So as per the game, Saptavyuha in the tournament has been seeded number 12 and HUCK has been seeded number 14. So it's supposed to be a closely contested game, but Saptavyuha has taken off really well by scoring 4 points so far. HUCK is still trying to find their rhythm. That's a pull that has gone out. They've opted not to call brick and are instead picking the disc from the sideline. There seems to be a zony look again from Saptavyuha. We have Sundar and Janani in the cup along with Shri. There's a swing and a turnover again. We have a few cuts. Cash seems to be open under. As another cut from Yashwant. Cash looks to Shri on the far side, and that's a score again.
It was a beautiful throw by Cash. Beautiful IO break. It was flat and easy for them to catch.
Scores right now: Saptavyuha 5 and Huck it 1. Saptavyuha is converting all the turns that they're getting quickly. On the other fields at the moment, we have a few more games going on. Uh, for instance, Nightcrawlers are playing Ashoka Hammerheads on one field, and then there's uh, one more game happening on the other side between Bits UFC and Bits UFC, I guess. There's another pull from Saptavyuha right now, which landed on their half of the field. It's a short pull, and they've gone with the zone again. Handlers are open. It's a nice swing around. They seem to have realized the mistakes and they're playing it short now. She's asking for more players to come in and play. Decides to reset the disc. They're entering a dangerous area. If there's a turnover, there could be a quick score opportunity for Saptavyuha.
They're moving back. They're not getting any cuts or breaks inside. They're not moving around. They're moving along the sideline. And there's a good blade.
And a nice catch by number 21. Looking for their handlers. They dump it to a handler who should look to move the disc quickly before the cup sets up, but opts not to. Disc is somewhere near the halfway line. Resets the disc back. Looks off the swing option, which should have been taken in my opinion. Makes the open pass to the foreside.
It would be nice to keep swinging around and moving it a bit faster. Yeah, there is a good swing there. Now they have a lot of space to move around. And there's good pressure by Cash.
And that's a turnover for Saptavyuha. Saptavyuha have the disc. Janani going long, unmarked. Cash looks to Janani. And that's an amazing grab by Janani with her right hand. She goes up and brings the disc down.
This is a really good catch. I thought she was going to just go get in and do a clap catch, but then she decided to fly.
Saptavyuha is at 6. Huck it 1. Huckett had a very quick huddle, try to bring the energy back up for their team. Saptavyuha, I don't think will need any changes at the moment. They're just looking to continue doing whatever they're doing. We have some people from Hamadad zone that have come to support their teammates. Logs with the pull, and the disc flows out and comes straight to the camera. I think they've opted not to brick it again. They've opted not to call brick and have chosen to pick it from the sideline. Bhargav is picking up the disc. There's a cup again. Saptavyuha choosing to stop the swings instead of the forward passes. A good decision. But there's a swing anyway. There's another swing to the middle. Bhargav is open and is asking for the disc. Bhargav looking to break inside. Bhargav swings around. There's another option on the other side. They opt not to take it. There's a pass. Deep comes and collects it safely. Logs with the disc. And he throws it down. They need to recover and set their cup up quickly. Bhargav chooses to set up quickly and start.
The cup half mid-seconds, like the best time to move. Good break. They're looking for throws inside.
Decides to dump.
Bhargav looks to go for the swing. It's a dangerous one. Defender under it.
Oh, and an amazing catch by number 19. Bhargav asking for the disc again and should be able to score now. They're at the end zone line. There was almost a handover. There's a lot of crowd on the far side right now. They should look to swing the disc and play it on the far end. Bhargav tried to crash through the cup. There's a stall out call there.
They're talking about the way generally Ultimate works is not everyone can just participate when they want. But the two people who are involved in the call, they're generally the ones who talk it out first. And then if others have any perspective on the call, then they could raise their hand and say it out when they're given a chance.
Ideally, we should have the calls resolved within 30 seconds. The beauty of Ultimate lies where people just agree to disagree and move on with the game. I think the stall out call was retracted there. They decide to dump the disc. There's a swing option. They take the swing. Bhargav asking for the disc in the middle. Looks for an inside option. Fakes it. And Bhargav scores. That was a really nice point. Really well played by HUCK. They took the swings when they had to. They swung the disc one more when they had to. And they played the dumps when they had to. Beautiful point. HUCK 2. Saptavyuha 6. Uh, Hakit has the disc. They've given the pull to their captain, Tanvi. It's a nice pull. Might go back in, and it does, or not. But they've decided to brick it, even though it went very close to their own end zone, the scoring end zone. Hakit set up a three-person cup again, a zone look with two wings and a shot deep and deep. Sabah has the disc for Spy. Swings it to the open side. Gets a break again to the center. Loga's open on the fourth side as well. Looks to Sabah again. Logs get it. Logs has a few more options. They're moving the disc primarily using high release passes.
Which generally wouldn't be possible if it wasn't, such still conditions.
Sabah has the disc. Finds the open swing. There's an inside throw to the middle. Sun collects it. Sun looks to Yogi. Yogi seems to be trapped. Looks for a swing. Dumps it to Shri. Shri looking for Janani. Janani not open.
The rain's also picking up quite heavily now.
Yeah. Logs has the disc now with him and is trapped on one sideline. Hammers the disc to Yogi. Yogi does not have a flow cut. Oh, that's a good turnover. They turned the disc over in the end zone. Good end zone, red zone defense by Hakit as well. They stuck to their plan and got the turn.
There's a good chance for the break if they get this point. Yeah, they might be able to instead of come back over here.
The rain has picked up now.
That's raining.
More reason for us to be jealous. We can't play Rain Ultimate as well, Vishwa and I. That's a good pass. Is there a layout opportunity? That's not taken. Saptavyu again making the same mistake. Should pick up the disc quickly before the cup sets up. Instead they delay and let the cup set up again.
They're parked in the sideline over here.
Makes a pass to Shri. Shri looking for Janani.
Now have a very tight mark on your own.
Pass it to Yogi. Players are being asked to play patiently. There's a crash. Hammer. Yogi to
Okay, picks up the disc. Good in cut. They have good flow cuts coming. It's another throw. They have good cuts coming.
this time. Logs picking up the disc. They've switched the force to this sideline. Logs with a beautiful no-look break over the top. Sabah has the disc. Looks to Shri. Shri hucks it to Janani. And
Amazing play by the number 2 from Hakit.
Panvi.
He decides to run through and jump. It was a really good deal, good aggression. He was also able to avoid body contact, which is a very major aspect in ultimate. We have this is a no contact sport. That is how ideally we should be playing.
We have a nice in cut again. The cutting pattern and timing from Hakit has been very nice. There have just been a lot of unfortunate bad throws. Oh, there's a turn. Yeah, there was an option to get a turn. Yogi decides to tap the disc instead of catching it, and it lands right into the hands of another Hakit player.
That's why you always have to release.
Hakit seem to be trapped on that sideline. They're not moving the disc to this sideline or making any swing passes. And there's a turnover again. Yogi decides to tap it again and it pops off. Janani again sets up on the far sideline. She's asking for one more person to go deep on this sideline so that there are a couple of options for the deep, and there's a turnover. Sabha fails to catch the disc.
Looks like something we are really struggling with against Hucket's zone. They're not able to move. They're not able to finish it. They're quite easily able to move to the end zone, but then from there they're getting clogged and the end product is not there.
Decide to wait for tying the lace. Doesn't usually happen. You're only allowed to make equipment changes during a stoppage. Turnover is not a stoppage, hence you cannot make the change, but they decide to stop anyway. I think Huckett should look for more huck options to open out the field instead of just swinging. Even if it's from the sideline, they should look to take those hucks. If not, Spice defenders are always going to be marking them on the unders.
It seems like no outcuts are also being generated at the moment. There is someone who's just standing 4-5 feet away at the end. Okay, that is an outcut now. But yeah,
Decides to huck the disc, and a beautiful throw by Panvi. And that's a score. Just when we were talking about them opening their game out by hucks, they've opened it. And that looks like a comeback opportunity for Huckett. Huckett are 3 at the moment. We have hammered that zone. Huckett is their B team, and they're here to support their team right now. There are a lot of cheers from their sideline. I had the opportunity to play with them because they took part in a couple of club tournaments as well. So when they were there in Chennai for the single gender regionals, one of the notable things for their team was that their cheers were amazing. Even when their scores were very less, their cheers were really good. They were cheering throughout the game, keeping the players occupied, engaged throughout. Oh, that just landed out that pull. Spy have opted to brick that, setting in to Huckett setting into a zone again. 3% cup. Same look. We have 3 handlers: Roshni, Jaya, and Cash. And then there's Shri, Hari, and Janani. In between, there's a turnover. Huckett should look to score this to continue with the momentum that they're building. They look to huck the disc deep. And yes, that's a score.
another break, huh?
Yeah, another break from Huckett. It's 6-4 right now.
Huckett have scored 3 straight points now, I think. They're on a really good chance of comeback. Spy must really try and get the half as soon as possible because Huckett are seeming extremely dangerous now. It's almost time for half. So it should be now or after this point. Maybe someone should inform them.
So since their zone look is working for them, Huckit are going with the same look again. This time the disc is much closer to Spy's end zone, so they can score with just one pass.
But that is where they also often turn it over, so it could be quite risky as well. Okay, the around option is taken, good mark by Bhargav. It's a good blade, good D. She was able to get over two men and pull it down. It was number 21, I think.
Bhargav gives it to Panvi. Panvi is looking for deep options. And a nice D by Roche. Cash choosing to pick the disc up this time. And breaks the cup inside, asking for the disc again. Cash and Jaya predominantly handling the disc.
Cash now playing calmly, calling what he wants. I think he's trying to
Has the open around swing.
good work. I think the problem with them majorly is them just trying to move, forcing it on the sideline. And that's a good pass, and that's a point for Spike.
The scores are Spy 7 and Huckit 2. I think that's a timeout call from one of the teams. They seem to be huddling up.
Spy will start in offense. They took the half, and now it's a 4 boys point, and Panvi has the disc for the pull. It is a short pull, but it's towards the sideline. They've again gone with a zone look with Pi and 0-0 as the walls. Number 6 is. There's a good break inside. Good movement to Sri. Shiva has the disc. Shiva throws it to Sri. Good catch. Good look. And again another good break on the inside. Sundar has the disc. He's an exceptionally good handler. There's a lot of good throws. And he calls double D over there. The idea behind double D is that only one person can stand within 10 feet of the mark and marking the person. There's a good cut by Roshni. She gets a disc. What a break. There's a good fake and a good break inside. And Spy get the point. Spy 8. Spy has started off strong after the half. They were able to get a quick point without any turnovers. They were able to move past the zone of HUCK and okay, Spy is back on defense. Okay, they're not putting a zone. They're playing person this time. No poaches, just honest managing. It's a backhand force. A good big mark by the number 6. Good break, good low throw. There's a good point. Good big point by HUCK. Spy 8. HUCK 5, I think. I'm not sure. But you'll see it on your screen soon. teams are getting quite a lot of time to set up each point. Generally isn't this much. It's only 75 seconds, I think. But neither of these teams play much, so it's okay. Okay. Both the teams are okay with it. So 7.5 with the disc. She's comfortable. She's ready for his 5 players to clear the field. This time, Spy is able to move quickly through the center. Shiva has the disc. Shiva fakes. Yash, number 2, has the disc. And that's a good cut by Logs, and they score again. 9-5 Spy. Roshni has the disc for the pull. Okay, this one's at the sideline. They have to start from there. Okay. They were able to quickly set up the zone, taking the arounds, but they swing one more. Good work from the pocket. It's a dangerous throw. They're again moving towards the sideline. Good mark by the mark. Good catch by Panvi, I think, but then there's a stall out call. And stall out without contest. Akhira quickly trying to set up a zone look. It doesn't look like they have a deep as of now. Good mark, but good break by Roshni. She has the disc. She has a good break inside. And that's a good D. It's a good leading pass. They tried to score it with the pass, but then it wasn't what they meant it to be. Spy back with the zone with Gigi on the mark. He's a tall man with incredibly long limbs. Breaking him isn't going to be easy. Good step out and around. That's a good blade and a good D. They waited the pass and they got the D now again. They'll again be starting from the sideline. Looks like both teams are struggling with each other's zone. Spy, they don't seem to be having anyone in the middle. Okay, there's someone charging in. Roshni eats it up. It looked like GG could have maybe made an attempt on it, but then he didn't. It was a good hand block by Janani. I think he hit her hand hard, but she's smiling, so it's all good. Logs has the disc. And it's a free pass to Shri, and she drops it again. It's a good throw, good option, but then there was a lot of pressure on it. Again, Huck it at the disc. He decides to just huck it this time. Okay, Spy have gotten the disc back. Good throw. They haven't had the time to set up the zone yet. Good break by Roshni. The wind pops it up. Jani judges and catches it quickly. Good fakes. Again, another around that led to a D. Another bladey throw which comes down. It looks like Huck are getting slightly reckless with their throws now. Taking the fast break options. This time Huck are able to set up the zone. Starting from the sideline. And I think Spy have called for a timeout. That was a good call. They were both tired and they could definitely use some strategy here to break the zone of Huck.
and they've decided to restart the game. The sun has finally popped out of the clouds. And that's an immediate turnover, which is one of the fears that I have. And that's a hug. There's a second option, but deed by Yashwan. They have the disc back again. They should spread the field a little bit more, Saptavyuha. They all seem to be stagnant on one spot, which makes it easy for the defenders to just mark them. That's so. There was some contact there. I'm not sure if there's a call. Player seems to be down. Uh, what do you feel, Vishwa?
I hope the player is okay. It's quite a bad fall from her. Contact seemed to be after the defender hit the disc. I think it would still be a foul. Then I don't think she's called it. Let's see if she continues to play.
I think there's no call there. Or yeah, is there a call? Yeah. There's a lot of confusion. Again, we're not sure as well because there are no hand signals. We can't hear them from here. Oh, yeah, it's a turnover. There has been no call made, and a score by Huckett.
9-6.
So scores are 9-6, 9 Saptavyuha, Huckett 6. It's happy to be finally live on YouTube. We had some difficulties in the morning setting up the internet here. All seems to be fine now. So for the rest of the day, I think we should be able to uh, have live Ultimate on the India Ultimate YouTube channel. Panvi seems to be carrying the team on his shoulders, pulls the disc, and it's landed in. Cash picking up the disc, centers to Sundar. Sundar looks to Yogi. Yes, it is a two-person cup.
Which is not an option I've seen a lot.
So some beautiful flow from Spy. Sundar looking to Janani, and Panvi deals the disc.
It was an amazing D by Convey. He almost had no play on the disc, but then he was able to avoid all contact and get the disc. That is a deep cut going for a kid, but then the disc hasn't been checked in. Yeah, that's there are a couple of outcuts generating for them. There's a beautiful break by Panvi. That's a bad drop. It's okay. Number 13 drops the disc. They're getting back on.
Looks, there's a call. I think that's a foul call. Panvi swings it to the middle, and there's a huck that goes deep with Sundar underneath the disc. It's caught by the Huckett player. Panvi scores. That's another break for Huckett, and there's a call that's made by Sundar. Not sure what the call is though. I think he's calling for travel maybe. and don't go anywhere after this game. We have another game coming up next, that's between seed 11 Saints and seed 13 Slip Disc B. Sundar with the disc now. Sundar to Cash. Cash asking for a person long. Sundar is open on the foreside and he collects the disc. Uh, Panvi dumps it for a score.
9-7.
With very little time left on the clock. Uh,
Huck almost have a comeback here. They're just 2 points away now. And 3 points to win. Spy must be under a lot of pressure. They must be putting in their best lines and players now. The next 2 points are going to be very crucial, and this point especially will be critically important for Huck. Let's see how they do.
Game time's up, which means although the pull hasn't gone in, the point has started immediately after the last point got over. So this point's on. Once this point is over, then we'll make it a game to the highest score +1. So right now the score is 9-7. If Saptavyu has scored this, it's a game to 11. If Hakit score it, it's a game to 10. We'll see what happens after this point. That's a beautiful pull that goes in.
Right to the end of the zone, and it landed in, so they must start all the way from the sideline, the back of the area. And they decide check it in. They've again gone with their 2% cup here. Huck, good break by Cash. A throw to Sundar, good flow to Yogi. It seems like Spy are rushing it a bit. Seems a bit risky, but it's working well for them now. Sundar with another IO break. Cash with, oh, that's a costly, that might be a costly drop here.
Cash could have floated that throw a little bit more for Sundar to catch easily. It's a nice blade to the center. There's a huck that goes long. There's an open player that goes and catches the disc for a score. Huck it score and make it 8, which means it's a game to 10. If Saptavyu has scored this, they win. If not, we go to universe point. I think we have a game in our hands. If Hakit can break again and score this point, that'll make it 9 each, and we'll be having a universe point. But instead, if Saptavyu has scored this point, that's game and game over. Saptavyu will take the game home. That's
Huck to
another amazing pull.
amazing pull.
Think
Going to the back and go.
Panvi is.
I think offside gender ratio.
I think there's a mismatch in gender ratio. I think they'll decide to re-pull.
Okay, I think the problem was not with the gender, but then the pull was supposed to be from a female, I think. Yeah, exactly. It's a good call by Spy. And yeah, Huckett will have to pull again. And it's an extremely important. Almost all the points from here on are extremely important since there will only be a maximum of two. Let's see how this point goes. This is going to be really interesting.
That's a nice pull again. Forced towards one of the sidelines. They've decided to play person for this point. Person defense. Cash asking for a deep option. Shri goes long. That's a beautiful throw from Cash. She has more flow cuts. Oh, and there was a forced throw over the head, whereas the player was coming on the foreside openly. There's a travel call here. So usually if there's a travel call and the immediate pass is a turnover, the turnover stands. But since Cash's pass was a complete pass to Shri and then it was her throw that was a turnover, the disc goes back to Cash if they hold the travel call. If they choose to retract the travel call, the disc goes back to Shri and the play stops there. So they decide to hold the travel call. It's another bad throw, and that tried to Shri tried to tow that but couldn't.
This is turning out to be a really exciting game. It didn't seem like so from the start when Spy were 5-1 up. But after Huck started in with his own play, it's been an amazing game. And
Cash,
back with the key.
beautiful defensive effort. He was behind the offensive player but ran through the offensive player and got the D. Sundar is open for the around. They're asking for a disc change, which is not allowed unless the disc is broken.
I think the disc is probably broken.
So decided to play on. Sundar with a beautiful catch. Looks to swing it around. Shri makes a cut to the foreside. Is looked off. Cash open on the around. Cash gets it. Looks for one more to Roche. Roche gets it. And another flow to the break side. Cash seems to be open. Cash collects the disc. Has been very pivotal at this point, but another forced throw inside. Maybe a little bit more patience could have worked for him there.
Looks like he wants to end this point right now, and then he's been taking quite a lot of shots now.
I've seen that same disappointed face a lot of times when he's played with me.
Panvi has a disc. Spy have a deep poach because
They have a deep poach and an inside poach. Shri is marking the inside passes,
by Anil.
and then there's someone else who's marking deep as well. Cash read that really well and is making a deep cut. Pass to Sundar. Sundar looks off Cash. Decides to dump it to Shri. Shri to Janani, and Janani toes the line for a score.
And I think that's game.
That's game to Saptaviha. That was a beautiful game. Initially, Spy took off really well, scoring with 6, making it 6-1, and then we had an amazing comeback from Huckett, who came very close and scored 8 points but couldn't finish the game. Spy take the game home. The scores are 10-8 to Spy. We can see both the teams high-fiving each other after the game.
Good spirit from both the teams. There was an amazing game. Quite a bit of calls, but I think all of them were resolved very calmly and very patiently. There was no anger. There was no. It was overall a very clean game from both the teams. Amazing spirit. Good enough.
So my picks for MVP would be on each of the teams. For HUCK, I would say Panvi. What do you think, Kushwa?
I think for Huckett it seemed like Panvi with all those amazing hucks, and for Spy it seemed like Janani because right from the start she had amazing Ds and catches, and even the last point her toe was amazing.
Yeah, so she's been scoring a lot, generating a lot of D, putting a lot of pressure when you're playing defense. So my pick would be Janani too.
Signing off.
Yeah, so that's us signing off. We'll be back in 15 minutes after a quick breakfast. We'll see you all on the other side. Bye.
Thank you.